Hello there, this is Ben Yost with Change Home Mortgage, and I hope you're having a great day. Hey, today I want to talk about higher interest rates and what that means to you. Basically, not as much as you think. Here's the kind of big myth out there is that interest rates, a little bit of an interest rate hike will make your payment go up hundreds of dollars. That's just not true. Basically, you're going to be surprised how little the interest rates have gone up. They might have gone up since in the last 2 months, about $150 a month. Okay, which usually isn't a make or break for a house you really want to get. And so you really have to remember that if you move into a place that has lower taxes, that might even offset that. So, good news, bad news is when everybody hears about the higher rates and they get all scared and they run for the hills, that also creates a great opportunity for someone and get some houses. And let me go into that a little bit more here. Yeah. So basically, the number one thing we want to talk about is that you never buy an interest rate. Okay, an interest rate is something you never buy. It's a basically way overhyped. You're getting into a payment. And quite simply, you're going to look at like you have if you bought a house already, or if you're going to buy, you have a budget and you know you can afford this much for a payment. So if you can get a house and your payment matches that, then you can go still get a house. Okay, it doesn't matter what the interest rate is. You see what I mean? So get hung up on the payment, not the rate. And again, sometimes that'll be affected by insurance and taxes. Depending on what area you're going to move into and that kind of thing. And or maybe you just don't go out twice a month. You go instead of going out 4 times a month, you go out twice, and there's your $150. Depends on where you go to. So you kind of get the idea. So don't get real hung up on that. Go for it's all about the payment. Now, what I meant by an opportunity is that because so many people get scared out of the market, they get back into a lease, so I can't buy. The thing is where we used to get 7 to 10 offers, we're now getting 2 or 3. And there's a few houses out there now that if you jump on right away, and if you have a good realtor who knows a couple of the tricks to do, you can actually get the house without any offers. Okay, so we're not seeing houses go for 50 and 100 grand over right now. They are getting bid up, some of them, but there's not as much competition. So you can actually go and get a house now. So now here's what's going to happen in the near future. Bad news is good news for rates. Okay, it's really weird. Okay, I've had to talk to my priest about it because mortgage guys and gals are sitting around. You don't know this, but this is a secret. But they're sitting around going, when there's bad news for about the economy. Okay, and I'm talking about the economy, bad news. They're going, this is great. Okay, so if nobody's shopping in the malls, if uh, if the unemployment's a little high, unfortunately, or whatever, mortgage guys are kind of going, this is great because they know the rates are going to go lower. Okay, so basically, bad news is good news because when they have to stimulate the economy when there's bad news, so they keep the rates lower. That's why during COVID, the rates got down. I mean, like a huge, hopefully, knock on wood, once in a lifetime event. The rates actually got down in the twos for a little bit there, not as long as everybody thinks, but in the low threes for about a year and a half. Okay, and the reason that was we had a monumental bad news of COVID. We locked down the economy, all that kind of stuff. Well, unless COVID comes back or something worse, okay, and we certainly don't want that. We're not, we're not, we're not wishing for that kind of bad news. Okay, we're looking for a little bit. Okay, but unless that comes back, we're not going to get in the threes and the twos before. That was an anomaly. If you look over the last, like 30, 40 years, you're going to find we're right around 5%. That's where they normally are. Okay, so what will happen because we're kind of right now as we speak today we're at like 5.875 to 6 and an eighth depending on where your credit are. What you're going to see is that we're probably going to get into a recession. They can tell you what they want to tell you, but every time you have high inflation it's always stopped by a recession. Okay, I think there's only one exception to that in 100 years. Okay, so we're going to hit a recession, which is bad news, which means we'll probably be anywhere from the low fours to the, 5.25 kind of range. Again, you're not going to trip over my Ferraris, but you get the idea. The rates are going to go. So even if you got into a house here, at this rate, you're going to refi anyhow. And in fact, the 30-year mortgage is a myth. Okay. Go ask anybody around. Everybody does something with their mortgage every 3 to 5 years. They either sell and get a new mortgage, they refinance it because the rates went down, and or they refinance it so they can go into a 15-year versus a 30 because maybe they're going to retire. And so nobody has a 30-year mortgage anyhow. So again, the great opportunity here for you in a nutshell is that go get a house now where you couldn't maybe 3, 4, or 5 months ago, and then get into that house, make your payments. It's better than renting if you're a renter because your landlord can't up it on you. It's fixed in for 30 years. Again, it's fixed in for however long you have that mortgage. I better watch that since I just said no 30-year mortgage, but it's fixed in until you do something with your mortgage and you're the landlord. You don't have to listen to another landlord and sell the house out from under you of all these stories I hear about. So again, I hope this helps. If you have any questions about getting a mortgage, give me a call. You'll totally get the best loan that's out there. I'm going to treat you right, and I've done this forever. So basically, I hope you're having a great day. Again, if you have any questions, give me a call, and thanks.